Hello children, welcome to the session. In the last class we studied about the components of food, that is the nutrients present in the food, and in detail we studied about all the nutrients, that is carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, right? So carbohydrates and fats gives us energy, right? It gives us energy to do work, so they are called as energy giving foods. The proteins, it helps in the body building, so they are called as body building food. And vitamins helps us to fight against diseases, so they are called as protective food. So I showed you the activity, that is to test the presence of starch in the food. That is, I added the iodine solution where the food turned into blue black in color. It showed the presence of starch, and also I told you how to test the fat present in the food. That is, when we keep the food item on a piece of paper, if the paper turns transparent, means if it turns oily, it shows that the food contains fats or oil. And then the proteins. Okay children, now let us see a small video that shows the presence of protein in the food.
Test for proteins. For carrying out the test for protein, we need two solutions, namely copper sulfate and caustic soda. Copper sulfate solution can be prepared by dissolving 2 gram of copper sulfate in 100 ml of water. Caustic soda solution is prepared by dissolving 10 gram of caustic soda in 100 ml of water. Take a small quantity of a food item, for example, uncooked soya bean seeds. Note that solid food items should be made into a paste or a powder before testing. Add 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. Now add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution and add 10 drops of caustic soda solution to it. Shake the test tube well and let it stand for a few minutes. You will observe that the content of the test tube turns violet. The violet color indicates the presence of proteins in food items. Similarly, you can check other food items also.
Okay, welcome back. Now, later we studied about vitamins. I told you vitamins, even though they doesn't give any energy to the body, then also it is very important because it helps to fight against the diseases. And also we discussed few diseases caused by vitamin deficiency. Right children? Now today in this class we are going to study about the next nutrient, that is mineral. As the vitamins are needed in small quantities, even the minerals are needed in small quantities to our body, but it is very essential because it helps in the utilization of other nutrients in the body. Other nutrients means either it may be the carbohydrates, fats, proteins. Yes, like this, it helps. The minerals help in the proper utilization of other nutrients in the body. So the minerals are very important to be added in the diet. And also it helps to fight against the diseases. Got it children? It helps to fight against the diseases. So it is very important. And then iron, iodine, calcium, sodium, phosphorus, fluorine, these are the few minerals present in the food. Now iron, the presence of iron, we get iron from green leafy vegetables and fruits. It contains more iron. So children, if the lack of iron, what happens? If they eat the food which is lacking iron content, it leads to anemia. What do you mean by anemia? Yes, that is the weakness in the body. We feel tired. So this iron content, the iron present in mineral, present, if it is present in the food, it helps in the formation of the red blood cells. What do you mean by red blood cells? RBC, that is the hemoglobin, right? Hemoglobin. What is the main function of hemoglobin? That is to carry the oxygen from lungs to other parts of the body, right? So, if the food doesn't contain iron or your diet doesn't contain iron, it leads to the less amount of release of RBC, that is the red blood cells. Got it, children? So there the person will feel tired. You can look in the image here. Yes, the one hand showing the normal RBC count and the another is showing the less RBC count there, and the skin looks pale in color. If the person is anemic, he looks pale in color. Okay, so when you go to the doctor, he checks through the nail and then under the eyes, that is to see the presence of hemoglobin in the blood. Got it, children? And then iodine. The next mineral is iodine. It helps in the formation of the protein called thyroxine. That is uh, that is helpful for the thyroid glands. So when the diet doesn't contain iodine or the lack of iodine, it leads to the disease called deficiency disease called goiter. It leads to the disease called goiter. You may have seen some images. There will be a swelling in the neck part, that is called as goiter. It is caused due to the lack of iodine in the food. And then coming to calcium. Calcium, all of us know our parents will tell us to drink milk. Yes, for the growing up kids. Why? It contains more calcium. Right, children? The calcium helps in keeping the bones and teeth strong. That is why calcium is very important. Right? If the bones are very weak, what happens? What happens? You will be feeling tired, and even your teeth. If it is weak, you can't eat everything, right? You will get the pain in the teeth. That is why calcium is very important, and if the lack of calcium leads to tooth decay. What do you mean by yes, tooth decay? That is, you can see in the picture, tooth decay. The deficiency of calcium leads to tooth decay. Then coming to sodium. Sodium is another type of mineral present in the food. Sodium will be present. That is, we call it as common salt. Common salt. It is present in the green vegetables, some cereals and pulses. Okay, children. So, the lack of sodium leads to weakness in the muscles, weakness in the muscles. So I had taken only few examples here of some minerals like iron, iodine, calcium, sodium, and a table is given in the textbook where it shows the type of mineral, the sources it is in which food it is present, and then the deficiency diseases caused by that. Okay, children. And next is the water. Water, is it a nutrient? No, it is not a nutrient, but it is very essential in the body. As all of us know, 70% of our body is made up of water, and also 2/3 of our body weight is due to water. So children, it is very essential to drink more and more water, because the water will be lost in the body when we sweat or when we cry. Yes, right? So that water has to be, again it has to be given. So what we have to do? We have to drink more and more water. Then what are the functions of water? Water helps in the transportation. What do you mean by transportation? that is moving from one place to another place, right? So the water helps in the transportation of nutrients. It helps in the absorption. During digestion, what happens? In the small intestine, the cells will absorb the nutrients present in the food. So the water will carry the nutrients from one part to another part, okay, or throughout the body. Then it helps in body temperature. It helps in maintaining body temperature. So the heat that comes out through evaporation by sweat. When we sweat, the body heat will comes out, and then so the body temperature is maintained by evaporation through sweat. And then it helps in excretion. What do you mean by excretion? That is throwing away the waste out of the body. So it helps in excretion. It is very important. The waste has to be removed from the body, right, children? Or else we get one more disease because of that. So when the wastes are removed, you will feel fresh there. So excretion, it helps in excretion. And then biochemical reaction. Even though we know water doesn't give any energy to us, but it is very important to get energy from other nutrients, because during digestion few biochemical reactions will be taking place inside the body. Not even digestion, other biochemical reactions also will be taking place in the body, and water acts as a medium for that reaction. We need some solvent, right? So water acts as a solvent or medium in that biochemical reaction. So children, water is very much important. Water is present in fruits, vegetables, and the food we cook. Half of the water will be present in the food we eat, and half it will be taken by us. So you have to drink 6 to 7 glasses of water every day to keep your body healthy. Got it? Now, the deficiency of water, if you don't drink water, what happens? It leads to dehydration. If we don't drink water, it leads to dehydration. You can look in this image, children. Dehydration leads to thirst, dizziness, and then tiredness, and then fatigue, and then yes, some urine infections also you may get due to dehydration. So to avoid dehydration, we should drink more and more water. Yes. Next is roughage. What is roughage? Roughage is the fiber present in the food. Is it a nutrient? No. Does it give any energy to the body? No. But it has to be included in our diet, because children, it helps in the proper digestion of food. Proper digestion. It helps in proper digestion. So what is roughage? Roughage is the fiber present in the food. It helps in the proper digestion of food. So the roughage will be present more in fruits and vegetables, right? It gives bulk to the food and helps to move the food in the digestive tract. Digestive tract means from where does it start? From the mouth to the anus, right? So it gives bulk to the food. It helps the muscles to push the food from maybe from the stomach to small intestine to large intestine, and sending out the waste through anus, right? So it is very important. It avoids indigestion, right? We also call it as constipation. So roughage is the fiber present in the food. It helps in proper digestion of food. So children, next it is nutrients in food. Nutrients present in the food. Now cereals, all of us know the cereals contains more carbohydrates and less proteins, right? And then comes pulses. Pulses will be having more proteins compared to other food. And then fruits and veggies, it will be having roughage as I told you, and then it contains vitamins and minerals. Fish and meat, it will be rich in some minerals and it is rich in proteins, right? Milk is rich in some minerals and it is rich in, yes, calcium. Yes. So each food item is having their own function. Yes. Cereals doesn't contain all the nutrient here, right? It contains some carbohydrates, more amount of carbohydrates. So it is very important that we eat cereals to get energy in our body. And then pulses, it is very important because we get protein from it. Fruits and vegetables, it is also important because we need to get vitamins and minerals, right, to fight against diseases. So we should eat all the types of food. What do we call that food? We have already studied it. We call it as the balanced diet. Balanced diet. Here, no food is complete, right, children? No food is complete with all the nutrients. So, we should eat the food in combination of all nutrients. So, balanced diet is a diet which contains all the nutrients in right amount. Right amount means for our body we need more carbohydrates, proteins, few amount of vitamins and minerals. That is why we say in the right amount. Got it? So balanced diet is the diet which contains all the nutrients in right amount. So children, the balanced diet is not same for all. It differs according to the age and then sex. Sex means either it is man or woman, boy or girl. It differs to person and the work they do. And the work they do. For example, the age. Now you are growing up kids, right? You need more and more proteins because all the muscles and bones will be growing up. So you need more protein food. Whereas for me, I need less protein when compared to the growing up kids, right? Because the growth has been stopped for me, right? I need less protein compared to you. And then it depends on the sex also. Sex means the man. Man means he works more. Physical work is done more by man than woman. Because the laborers. I don't say that it is man who does more physical work here. Even women will do, but the more physical work who does, he needs more carbohydrates there. And then the work, the same day, the laborers who do more physical work, they need more carbohydrates and fats to give more and more energy. So children, today we studied about the proteins, the test for proteins, the minerals, roughage, water, balanced diet and nutrients food, right? Next is cooking in food, cooking of food. Now, cooking of food. What do you mean by cooking of food? We should eat some food cooked or we cannot eat it raw, right? Like rice maybe it is, or the chapati made up of wheat and then meat, everything it is cooked because cooking makes the food tastier, soft and easily digestible. Why it is important to cook the food? Because cooking makes the food tastier, soft and also easily digestible. There are different methods of cooking, right children? For different food items, we use different cooking styles. Now, overcooking destroys the vitamins in the food. What do you mean by overcooking? We heating it over and over again, it will destroys the nutrients present in the food. So we should not overcook the food. And then fruits and vegetables. The raw vegetables or the fruits we eat, we should not wash them after cutting it. Okay? So the fruits and vegetables should be washed before we eat them. And then enough water. We should use enough water to cook the food items. Got it, children? If we use more and more water, the nutrients will be lost in the water. And again, the rice and pulses we wash before cooking it. Washing again and again also, it may lose the nutrients present in it. And also the vitamin C. Vitamin C is lost by heating it. So we should eat raw fruits and vegetables which contains vitamin C. Raw fruits and vegetables should be eat. So this is for today, children. We studied about the minerals, water, roughage, nutrients in food, balanced diet, and then cooking of food. That is for all for today. Let's meet in the next session.